tell you exactly how long it's going to last for. So, yeah, I'm going to wait for a few people to get back in. We're going to wait for people to get in. All right. Pinged a couple of the people. Ping the other three. All right, Seba's here. Welcome. Welcome, Seba. Yes, you can come on stage. No, hold on, candidates. I will get you on stage in a second. Waiting for the rest of the candidates to get here. I will let you on stage here in a minute. We're waiting for the rest of the candidates to get here. Yeah, it's all good, Seba. Real quick, in a little bit, I might need you to kind of like watch over the stage while I go do something real quick. Also, it's storming at my house, Seba. So if the internet goes out, I'm gonna need you to kind of like take over as curator and just kind of make sure everybody stays in while I see what's going on. I'll turn on my mobile data on my phone and I can see if I can get back in, possibly. But I'm just letting you know that my internet might go out. It looks to be very bad right now. Too bad I'm not playing football out there. That'd be so fun. It's pouring down rain. All right, we are waiting for everybody to get in. All right, we got no quarter given here. Quarter given, one of the candidates. We are now waiting for if Howdy is going to make it and if Ruler is going to make it. So Howdy is going to not be able to make it tonight. Howdy has school apparently at 5:33 at night. Maybe from another country where it's a different time, obviously, a different time zone. It's fine. Or that's right. Could be on the west coast of the United States, which would make sense. Yeah, it'd probably be still about 2 o'clock still. 1 o'clock. Yeah. So see if Ruler is gonna join. Waiting on Ruler to respond. This might be a debate with only 3 of the candidates, which that's fine and all, but wait, see if Ruler is gonna join. All right, I'm going to invite the candidates to stage now. All candidates are being invited to the stage. All right. Now that all the candidates are here, I know Mr. Shine Soul is not going to be speaking. No quarter given. I assume you're not going to be speaking either, as yesterday, or if you do want to, go ahead. But then I assume Totalitarian, you're going to be speaking to answer the questions. Yeah. So okay, Shine Soul. Oh, Shine Soul or Shade Soul will be speaking. So that works.
That's a surprise.
That's fun. All right. So it does not seem like Ruler is going to show up on time. So I assume you all are interested in getting started now. We're gonna start. All right, no quarter given said. Yeah, all right, that works. No quarter. That's cool. Just type me your response. That's fine. So we are going to start with questions. Um, we're gonna go ahead. My God, it is pouring down rain. All right, sorry about that. Sorry for getting distracted. All right. So I was gonna say about again, just to kind of kick this off. We're gonna do a question we've already done before. What are you going to do as president if you were to make it? If you were to be elected? What are you going? Actually, this is a new question. I wanted to ask this question about this. Are you going? What are your ideas on a term limit as president?
May I have the stage?
Yeah, you can go ahead. Just whoever wants to go first can go first.
I I would not set a term limit. I will be going the way a ruler goes, basically just leaving the presidency without a term limit for as long as I can.
So you're going to try and write out your popular how popular you are and hope you get reelected each time.
It depends.
All right, that seems to be the popular opinion, as no court of given has said. I do not agree with the term limit, as I think it restricts the fun. You can only be president for 2 days, and it isn't a very long time, and it will pass very quickly. I see where no court of given is coming from, and where I see where you're coming from, totalitarian. Okay, sorry. Shade Soul, what is your opinion on it?
In my term in president, I will pretty much just try and make things as better for people as I can and hope to get re-elected.
So all three of you agree that you're not going to try and set a term limit, and that you're going to just attempt to ride out your approval ratings and hope you get reelected. I do see.
Surprisingly, yes.
That's probably the first time all three of you will agree on something that directly. So moving on, I want to discuss that as president, what are you going to do? Or if you are president, if you are going to become president, you are elected, what are you going to do to specifically how are you going to go about the church? This is a good question, because I've seen that there is a current candidate here who does not like the church at all, and then the other two candidates really support the church. So what are you going to do? Are you going to be biased towards the church? Are you going to show a bias? Are you going to give tax breaks to the church? Are you going to limit them? I know the totalitarian, I'm going to still let him answer, of course, but I can already tell you what his answer is. I'm curious to hear what the two biggest political supporters of the church, though, have to say about limiting the church to its to limits. So what are you going to do to limit the church if you have to?
Limiting the church seems too lenient to me. What I would do is forcefully disband the church entirely and make it illegal to have religion influence politics, since that plays a big part in corruption sometimes. Because if people favor the church, then they're probably just going to make choices that will help the church and not the people. That sounds weird coming from me because of my stance on the people, but still, I just want to keep the church out of politics, and yeah, basically that's all I have to say.
All right, so you're going to take the extra step and go farther than just limiting the church itself. Is what you're saying. You're going to, I think you said dissolve the church, something along that lines?
Yes.
All right. Also, ruler has showed up, the current president. He can answer soon. The question was, ruler, the question I asked these candidates was, how are you going to personally, if you have to, go about limiting the church? As I realize that there's a lot of supporters of the church in this political spectrum. So if you had to limit the church, what would you do? Like, how would you go about that? as I do realize that there could be biasness. And are you
Well,
going to show the bias?
well,
So
I
wait, I'm going to
believe
read out No Quarter Given's response because he's currently typing out. And then you can go, all right? No Quarter Given said, I believe the church is a very partisan society. It keeps people together and can help us in times of need. I will heavily endorse the church as the president and attempt to help it as much as I can. I will not force people to worship the church, but it will be the main religion. If the church gains too much power and challenges the government and is in danger to the nation, I will put it under a new rule but it will stay working. So you're going to instigate the rule of the church as president. You're going to promote the idea of it being the major political or major religion. Yes. All right. So I mean that's what I expected from someone who majorly endorses the church and has donated to it in the past. Ruler, you may respond now. You are on the stage.
I believe in separation of church and state, meaning I'm fine with the church. It can do what it wants, but I do want to limit it in this way. It cannot do. I want to prevent it from endorsing political candidates and political parties. Basically, keep the church out of politics, but also prevent the government from endorsing the church. So the government cannot interfere with the church, and the church can't interfere with the government.
All right. So you're going for, I guess you could say, a very classic 1776 idea from Thomas Jefferson with separation of state and church. That's a good answer, as that is a yeah, that's a good answer. It's solid. And No Quarter Given what said he would like to add, you would have a representative of the church in parliament and they can vote on decisions regarding the church. So No Quarter Given's ideas not require, but instigate the use of the church as a member of parliament. And then your idea is completely keeping the church out of government idea. So very separate ideas from No Quarter Given and Ruler J101 there. Shade Soul, you are now on the stage. How do you respond?
Like Ruler, I want to keep the church quite far out of politics. They will be taxed same as everyone. No demotions, no promotions. I'll support them, but I will not actually benefit them in any way.
All right, so more separation of church and state. So it seems you and Ruler agree on that one, and No Quarter Given wants to involve the church more in state government affairs. So that's going to be, I assume, in this next election here tomorrow. I personally believe this is going to be one of those things that influence voters, as I do believe the church is gaining more traction now. As more people join, you're going to see people that are influenced immediately from the church right out of the gate to join. And basically every party has a different opinion on the church. So it's really going to determine who the church influences, even though if you do want to keep them out of it or not, it's going to be who they influence, obviously. And you're going to have to change that as president. It's going to be what a part of your job. After that, I'm kind of out of questions. I asked everything I wanted to ask. Ting or Seba, do you have a question you would like to ask? You can put it in general, and I'll see if I can come up with any more questions, as I'm kind of blanking today, sadly. No questions from Seba. Ting? Ting, do you have any questions for the candidates? Welcome to this person. Oh, is Seba, is that your friend? Okay, yeah, that's Seba's friend. All right. So it seems like we don't have any other questions. I'm trying to come up with questions personally for the debate, but as of now, I think we're going to go ahead and let our candidates say their. I guess we can do the final closings, if you please. Who wants to go first with their final closing? Very short debate. Who would like to go first?
I would.
All right. What is your closing statements, totalitarian?
I
To the people who
disagree.
are disagree with what?
I disagree with letting the church have any part in the government. That includes them being on the Senate, Parliament, or Congress, whichever one is made, or any church member serving in the serving a presidential term, as they will most likely be biased and mainly help the church and leave the state second as a second priority and have the church as a first priority. I see no reason to let the church involve itself with the government, which is why I want to dissolve it when the time comes.
All right. Does anybody have a rebuttal to that? As that was very considerably controversial to the rest of the members. Anyone have a rebuttal?
I have one. So keeping the church. So I agree that a politician who is part of the church would have some bias. That's only natural. They'll have bias whether they want to or not. But just saying, hey, if you're part of the church, you can't be in politics is a little far. Because one of the purposes of Parliament is to kind of counteract the president, keep them in check. So any laws that the president wants to do, Parliament has to approve. So if the president tries to do really pro-church stuff, Parliament can be like, hey, yeah, we're not going to let you do that.
I quite agree with that. The church should be allowed in politics, but should not have any control over them.
All right.
I'll take down Parliament by force if I need to.
All right. So, seems we've had a little bit of a mini debate on the church. So that seems to be the main category of this debate. As No Quarter Given said that he is he's the leader of the only party which fully supports the church. Which, I mean, I'm not going to comment on that, but other people may have other opinions on the party that might fully support the church of Monkey. So I will read out No Quarter Given's final statements now, and then we already had totalitarian say it, and we're about to hear No Quarter Given, and then we can have Mr. Botanical and Ruler J's final statements. No Quarter Given's final statement is: make sure to vote for the Democratic Conservative Party if you believe in the benefit of overall society and development of new technologies and such. And if you support the church, make sure to vote the only party that fully supports the church. I would also like to add our close relationship with the church.
As a poor type of propaganda and just petty.
All right. Shade Soul or Ruler J101, would you like to state your final statements?
Okay, I'll go, I guess. You can vote for me if you want. New Future Party, I guess. I don't really care. I was not supposed to win that second term. But you can put me in a third term if you want. Yeah.
All right. All right.
Magnificent closing statement there.
I mean, it was short, right to the point. Shade Soul, what is your closing statement? Or Shine Soul, what is your closing statement? Sorry, I keep saying Shade Soul.
I would definitely love to be president. Any votes to me will be much appreciated. I'll try and make things better for those who need it. And I would also, if obviously this is allowed, revoke any laws which are harming people, assuming those come to being.
Okay, so requesting the removal of any law which inhibits the harm against any being. Those were very decent closing statements from all of you. This was a very short debate, but as notified, the main idea was the church, and I personally didn't have many questions, as not much has happened in the last 2 days since the last one. So far, everything's gone pretty smoothly. Thank you all for attending. You may leave. I'm just going to say thank you all for being involved with this idea. It was a very shortcoming idea, and we're already 3 days or 3 debates into it, almost 3 elections into it now. We've had great voter turnouts most of the elections. Last one, not as much as the first one. Our first election came out to a 21 vote total, and then our second one came out to a 15 vote total. So we're getting decent voter turnouts each election. I hope it's going to go up from there. Hopefully more people are going to get involved. Honestly, you don't even have to do much in the server. Just invite your friends because they vote. They can just, a simple form, obviously, as you know now. They just join, they click the link, 1, 2, put their name in, put the vote they cast, boom, they're done. It's very simple. I made it that simple because I believe that if it's not simple, people don't want to find it fun. Other than that, we are officially finished with the third total official 2DE debate. You may now be dismissed, candidates.
Not as controversial as I wanted it to be.
Goodbye and